Good morning, everybody. Today's video is just going to be a little update. It's just an update. I'm not going to make it too long. It's just going to be a quick update. We are sliding into a very odd time. Globally, it's odd. Stabilities have been upset, so if you can imagine the world being similar to that of a boat, the boat is rocking right now. It's going to stay afloat. It's not going to sink, so don't worry about the doom and gloomers. Though I will tell you that many of them make a fine profit promoting doom and gloom, and that is compounded and aggravated, be it as it may, by the United States, which funds all sorts of narratives. And the current narrative is Russia is going to use nuclear bombs and China is going to invade Taiwan, neither of which are true. Neither of which are true. China certainly has the ability, but it hasn't mobilized any forces getting ready for an invasion. So where they pull this stuff out, well, it's just fabricated bullshit. As well as the fabricated bullshit that the United States had a event-changing election cycle. No, it didn't. It's just a standard election cycle with the standard boilerplate candidates placed up there. It's going to continue the standard boilerplate policies that are defined by oligarchy. So don't get too upset about any of these crazy things. It doesn't matter, not in the least. What I'm talking about is that the world is establishing. It's moving from one course to another course. I'm sure if you're watching the Western news, you'll be unaware of this, except if you really go through all the bullshit and you pick out pieces that are at the bottom of the pile, you might know a couple of things. A new organization known as BRICS Plus is coming into play. This is the BRICS nations plus a whole bunch of other people who want to join the China-Russia organization. A whole bunch want to do it. You think the G20 was large, this is even getting larger. So this G7, the G7 nations, which are pretty much American proxies, led by the United States, are just falling by the wayside. And the rest of the nations are establishing their own currencies, their own relationships, their own banking systems, their own internets, and everything. And they're not tolerating any more bullshit. Anti-terrorist, anti-color revolution efforts are being put in place. So any United States wants to set up a color revolution for democracy, it's not going to happen. Because trained experts are now in all these other countries and they're saying this is what you need to look for and these are the people you need to kill. The people who are starting the color revolutions are now treated as CIA spies. They are captured, interrogated, tortured, and then killed. And it's not in the news. So you're seeing a very, very hard-line approach that's being done softly. And that's causing all sorts of turmoil. And of course, the oligarchy in the United States don't know what the fuck to do, because left and right, they are failing and flailing. They never had, these rulers, these oligarchs, never had the ability, the power, the knowledge, the skills to do anything. They just got by on mediocre grades in school and given positions through the wealth of their parents. And since they are really just simply four dies, inherited rich kids, the best they can do is hire competent people to manage their responsibilities, whether it's purchasing things, money, banking, taking care of the house, cooking food. They can purchase people to do the work for them, but they can't do it themselves. And thus they have no idea of what they're dealing with or what they have on their hands. So they're flailing. They're under mistaken beliefs that vocalization can cause things to happen. Vocalization can cause things to happen within your own reality, but whenever you're trying to cause things to happen in the realities of many, many people, in effect altering their world-line template, it doesn't work that way. You have to anchor it down. Anchoring down a template is another subject altogether, and it's way beyond the subject here. Most people wouldn't understand it. Most people still believe that we all share a universe, for God's sakes, and have no idea about how thoughts are composed of bodies or structure. Bodies is the wrong term. There's structures to thought. The creation of thought forms structures on a quantum basis. But anyways, I'm not even going to get involved in that. But what I am trying to say here is that the people who are leading the old, the West, led by the United States, are flailing. And it's a dangerous time, there's no question about it. But my gut feeling is that we're over the worst part of it. The worst part is over. There's going to be a very uncomfortable period for the next couple of years, but that's going to fall to the side. So my gut feeling is the peak has just been passed, or we're at the peak. And anything else is just cleaning the dinner table, if that makes a sense. The worst. Make no mistake now, however, it doesn't mean that there isn't going to be bad events occur. But I'm saying that the systems, the general systems, are now moving in the directions that they're supposed to be. The regular vectors are heading in the right directions. They're all being established. Whether there's a big major nuclear catastrophe, war, planet realignments, or whatever is going to make no difference. You've got an East forming its various social constructs, and you've got the West that's sitting in its pool of shit. And those two events are not going to change whether there's a war, color revolutions, protests, changing in policy. Nothing's going to change that stuff. It's not going to change. These are moving. So what we're going to see in the next 3 to 5 years is a solidification of what already exists today. Any major changes, catastrophic changes, sudden changes are not going to occur, though there may be catalysts that will try to make them occur. An event in the Ukraine, a catastrophe in the South China Sea, color revolution here, color revolution there. There may be this and that, but it's not going to change the general trends. Now, why am I talking about this? Because I'm talking about how things are handled on the personal level. This is really important on the personal level. So you're going to see, as things even out, you're going to see some discomfort depending upon where you live. If you are in England or the United Kingdom, you're going to have more discomfort than England has experienced for the last couple of centuries. You're going to start seeing some out of control, or you're going to start seeing inflation. The ability to use gas is not going to be so easily obtainable. Your cost of living is going to become non-aligned with your sources of income. This will cause disquiet and unrest. That's going to be the same in the United States, but it's also going to be compounded by all sorts of differences in culture and society and power struggles that have been put in place over the last 50-some years. They're all going to start like a zit, going to start reaching ahead and going to start popping. And so being in the United States might cause some problems. The rest of the world's doing okay, guys. They're trying to manage it. And when I mean manage it, I mean, sure, the United States might lash out like some dying elephant. But you know, they're just going to kind of walk away and stay away while the trunk flails or the legs are kicking. They're just going to stand off the side. They're going to try to avoid it while smiling and being nice and polite and doing the best they can. Anybody who thinks that this is not the case, it's fine. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. You can think that the big one's coming, that China is going to collapse because of, I don't know, a litany of reasons. Demographics, one-child policy, blah, 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 whatever. Come on, guys. It's not happening. You want to see what it's like out here? It's not happening. So, as the world kind of reaches this kind of uneasy period of whatever, know that it's stabilizing. The event has built up to what I would call an almost peak. We're at the peak right now. We could have, things could go left and right, but it's not going to change the overall trends. So, since I have given you all a glimpse of the future, plan a 10-year plan, what do you think is going to last in the next, say, 10 years from now, and plan accordingly? If your nation where you're at has managed to calm down and the disquiet, then how would you plan for 10 years in the future? And then act accordingly. Okay, that's all. There's going to be some changes, but I'm of the belief that we're at the peak right now. And I'm not seeing any mushroom clouds from nuclear explosions, okay, guys? So I think that anything that's happening is little bads. There's not any real serious things. I'm told that there's the possibility of medium bads, but we're at the peak here, guys. This is it. This is the peak. Not next year. This year, right now. This is it. And I could be proven wrong, but I think I'm right. And for that, that's the reason why I have this video. And people, as I close here, I'll show you a little bit of China here. Take care. Be the best you can be. Be kind to dogs and cats. Be the Rufus, you know, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Be excellent to each other, dudes. Buy a coworker a cup of coffee. Say a kind word to a stranger. Feed a stray cat. And don't litter. And in every way, be the best you can be, because I believe in you. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
雪地风呼啸嘹亮，沙漠阴迷离向往，踏遍战场，更将突围任天地高原。我生来无惧无恐，走为师犹如轻功，必身受水帘空投，唱一曲宛如游龙，我化成奇怪如虹。谁在离远征战两相堂？谁中如溪河遍踏四方？看我来耍花枪，对着要当仁不让，弓楼坚守相城，会被谁也是天生。看我换身衣裳，天上离远星光持枪，气帆无穷。看我身姿焕黄，警戒灯台亮相，照世间变万方。怕谁在这一场？看我冲锋沙场，见敌人我执掌，坚守好节气概，一世戎马当。 是领空投，唱一曲宛如游龙，我化成习惯如虹。